All right, hello everyone. Welcome to another Blue STEM Author Chat. My name is Kim Rudden. I am the Blue STEM Publicity Co-Chair, along with Heather Cribbs, who might be joining us later. And I'll turn it over to the other people from ISLE, and they can introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Caroline Campbell, and I'm running the Zoom room today.
I'm Heidi Knuth, and I'm the chair of the Blue STEM Committee.
All right, and we have classes from across the state of Illinois here joining us today. And they're joining us because we're here to talk to Kristin L. Gray, and she is going to tell us a little bit about her book, and then she's going to answer questions from our Blue STEM readers. So I'll turn it over to you, Kristin.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you guys so much for having me this morning. I'm so thrilled to be here. So I'm Kristin L. Gray, and I wrote the Amelia mystery where 6 girls are invited to spend the night at Amelia Earhart's childhood home in Atchison, Kansas, which, yes, really exists, and you really can go see it for yourself. They've turned it into a museum. So if you ever find yourself near Kansas City, it's about a 45 to 50-minute drive. So you have to go check it out. But thank you so much for having me, and for reading my story, and I can't wait to hear all your awesome, smart questions.
All right, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Oh, you can? Okay, sorry, I was having sound problems yesterday. All right, we're gonna go to our first school. Miss Loison's class. You guys can mute yourself and ask your first question.
Hi, I'm Egypt. Why did you write a book, and why about Amelia Earhart? Kind of.
Hi, Egypt. Why did I write a book about Amelia Earhart? Or
Well, it's not really about her, but
right.
Yeah.
Inspired by her, maybe.
Yeah.
I think because are you 4th grade, 5th grade? How
I'm
old?
5th grade.
5th grade. I knew it. Okay. So when I was your age, like, she was one of my big heroes. Amelia Earhart, and then Helen Keller was the other one, because little side fact, I was born completely deaf in my left ear. And so for some reason, those 2 women, I just read every biography that I could, when I was assigned book reports, and just how gutsy and brave she would have to be to get in an airplane and fly across the ocean when, people were not doing that at that time, or the ones who tried did not make it. Her story is inspiring. And so and with the push for now for girls to be in science and math and the arts and all these other really great math and science fields, well, that's what Amelia Earhart was all about. She was trying to get women into flying, and to even being brave enough to go on commercial flights as a passenger. So she was very much all about pushing women in the fields that were historically, run by men. So that was the inspiration for me. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Egypt. I love your name.
Hi, I'm Simon, and what's your favorite genre of book, and what's your favorite book in that genre?
Oh, awesome. Hi, Simon. I love mysteries. I love funny books too. So my sweet spot is when you get a funny book that's also a mystery. That's just gold to me. But my favorite book, okay, that's hard. One of my favorite books would probably be, it won the Newbery in 2010. So it's a little before your time, but I bet you your library has it. It's called When You Reach Me by Rebecca, I believe she pronounces her last name Steed, but it looks like Stead. It's S-T-E-A-D. But When You Reach Me, it's time travel, but also it's just super, super smart. And I love books that make you think. So, where you try to piece the puzzle together. I love those kinds of books.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Great question.
Thank you. So I have a couple students from Cloverdale here. They're 5th graders. So we'll start with our first one.
Hello, I'm Aria.
Hi, Aria. Gosh, you guys have great names. Great names.
My question is, if you were able to time travel, would you time travel in the past or the present or like the future?
Oh my goodness. That's a great question. What would I do? What would I do? I think, you know what? I think I would go back today, if you're asking me right now, I think I would go back because I miss my grandmother. So I would love to have cake and coffee with my grandmother and ask her questions that I didn't think to ask her when she was, still here with me. I like surprises. So I think if I went forward, I don't know, I like learning things as they evolve. And so I think going forward would maybe ruin some surprises, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, but that's an excellent question. You guys are great thinkers. I like that.
Thank you. All right, ready?
Hi, my name is Morangas.
Hello.
And what inspired you to write the book?
What inspired me to write the book? So my family, I have 5 kids, by the way, 4 boys and a girl, and we went on a family road trip and we stopped. We were near Kansas City. So that's about 5, I'm in Arkansas, by the way, the top left corner. And so it's about 5 or 6 hours for me. And we stopped there at the house. And so I toured it with my kids, and very much what happens in the book. The old lady caretaker, her name was Louise in real life at the time. She stayed downstairs, and my family were the only ones. Sorry, my dog's going crazy. My family were the only ones in the whole house. And so she just kind of let us split up and kind of poke around all over it. And it just felt like a mystery to me. It was an old, kind of creepy, cozy house with lots of nooks and crannies. And then all of Amelia Earhart's, the artifacts all over the house. It just seemed like a really cool setting for a book. And of course, I already was fascinated by Amelia herself. So I fell in love with the house just as much as the person. Did you have another question? Or is that it? Okay.
Yeah. Avery Coonley School, are you all ready yet, or are you still waiting for your students? When you're ready, you can turn on your camera and then we'll go to you guys. Oh, there we go. So if you,
We are still waiting. They're finishing up lunch. They should be
Okay.
here hopefully in a couple minutes. But I'm definitely listening, and I'm excited to hear more about the author, so we can let other classes
Okay.
go ahead. Thank you.
when your class comes, just turn on your camera and we'll know you're ready.
Okay, great. Thanks.
All right. We'll go back to our first class, Ms. Loisen's class. If you want your next 2 students to come up and ask your questions, we're ready for you.
Okay, we'll be right here. Who is, okay, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Susanna, and my question is, how many books have you made?
How many books have I made? So that's a great question. Thank you. I have written way more than have been published, have been actually turned into books. So my first novel for kids never sold or got picked up, but that's okay, because I feel like it's a practice book, right? Nothing comes out perfect the first time. Like even my first draft of this. So I've written dozens and dozens of picture books, and I only have 2 that were turned into real books. And for novels, I'm currently in edits for my 3rd novel, which is set in Antarctica, which hopefully it'll come out. I don't know if it'll come out next year or in 2024, but it takes a while, and you never know which story will be the one that sells, but you just kind of have to write what you're interested in. And because whatever a publisher buys, you'll be spending a lot of time with it. So you want to make sure you like the subject matter and the setting and the characters. But I'll show you real quick. And someone else might ask. I'll wait. Someone else might ask about drafts. I don't know. But thank you. That was a good question.
Hello, my name's Ollie.
Hi, Ollie.
What inspired you to write about books? Like, what's the most thing that you got inspired by to make books?
Probably. So when I was your age, I was a bookworm. Like, I fell asleep reading every night. I just have always loved stories and good movies and TV shows, because they're it's another media to tell a story, right? Like I love watching Stranger Things with my kids. I just love good storytelling. So I think anytime we see or read or a story, it resonates with, we can feel that inside us. And we're like, wow, that's so cool and moving. Like we laugh or we cry or we get, we jump because we get scared. And there's something about that feeling in me that makes me want to try to create that and reproduce that for other people, for you guys, because it's such a moving and profound experience. And it's a really empowering as a writer to be able to put those emotions in your work and have others, the readers experience them. Because we, the writers, we can do our part, right, to write the story. But the awesome thing is each one of you guys, the readers, you read it and you take your own experiences and your own lives inform what you read, so you might get something, Ollie, out of reading my book that say Mariah didn't, so that's what's really cool, is it's unique to the reader.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you. We have another fifth grader here. She's going to ask you a question.
Hi, my name is Claire, and I was wondering, any of the characters in the Amelia 6, are they inspired by you at all?
By me at all. Okay, I have to say, Millie, I am a very big nervous Nancy, so I'm kind of afraid of everything. So absolutely, Millie being kind of anxious and nervous and kind of scaredy cat is absolutely me, and especially me as a kid. I'm learning to be braver as I get older, but yes, absolutely. And then Kate, the truck driver, that was my grandma's name. So that was kind of a little nod to my grandma, who was pretty like fearless and plucky. So, but yeah, great question. Thank you.
All right, next.
My question. My name's Stefani, and my question is, how long did it take you to write your book?
That's a great question. So a first draft takes me about a year, and then I spend about a year revising it with my editor. She'll mark it up, kind of like your teacher will send you a paperback and you have to make changes and send it back. And I'll show you if you guys want to see. I got my drafts right here. These are all my, yeah, each version of the story. So yeah, when your teacher is kind of like having homework, right? But what we do the first round, we make really big changes. So it's not overwhelming. Like the first round, she had me delete a character. And so I had to erase the whole character from the book. It was a grown-up character. So it's not like it wasn't ever the Amelia 7. It's always been the Amelia 6, but it was an adult character. But it was too many characters to keep up with in the house. So I had to go through and delete, like every time he spoke or had dialogue, it would change that whole conversation, right? So we start with big changes, and then with each version or each draft, you go from macro, big, right, down to micro, which is small. Micro changes, like looking through a microscope, right, as you see small things. So then we go to like sentence level, like, is this the strongest verb that we can use here? So that way it's not everything at once, but it's an interesting process. And I did, to help keep me on track, map the house, because I actually walked through the house 2 different times. I had to make a second research trip. So I drew little floor plans out of each room so I could keep up with, one's the first floor and one's the second floor on my son's graph paper. So I could keep up with who was where in the house, for what chapter. But thank you. Great question. So roughly 2 years from an idea to getting the book on the shelf.
All right, thank you. So we have Avery Cooney School is with us. So to catch you guys up, we can do 4 questions from you guys. And then if there's time, we'll go back to Miss, they're there, Miss Loisen's class. So I'll turn it over to Avery Cooney School.
hold on.
Echo.
How did you like get the story? Like, how did you like
How
make up the story?
How did I come up with the story? Lots of trial and error. Lots of so I make okay, I'll tell you. So I get a little handy dandy notebook, kind of like this one. You know, they're like 50 cents at the at your pharmacy or grocery store. And I brainstorm. And I'll keep it in my car. I'll keep it in my purse. So anytime I think of an idea that's really fun that I want to include in the story, I'll write it down. So I call it a love list. So like, I love secret passageways. Like I love friendship stories. I love humor. I love candy, which is why I put the gingerbread house in there. When I was a kid, my family made a gingerbread house every year. So there were certain things that I knew that I wanted, to put in here. So they would go on my love list. So my goal was to try to keep as many of those items in the book that I could, because to me that seemed fun, things that were fun, like ghosts. But sometimes it's too overwhelming and you can't keep everything, but the goal is to try to keep as much fun as you can. So, okay. Hi. Oh, yeah, you gotta speak up.
My name is Zara, and do you know how many drafts you made?
How many drafts I made? Zara, I don't. Here, I'll show you. You just got on, so you missed the here are the drafts. So I would guess 5 to 6, maybe 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 drafts, and then a little proofreading at the end. So yeah, roughly 6 drafts altogether. But we start with big changes first and then work our way to making smaller changes by the end. And that's my favorite part, the polishing, because then the big story decisions are kind of set in stone. And that's the really scary part for me. I mean, it's fun, but it's also scary because one big change could blow your whole story up. So I don't know. I'm a detail person, so I like polishing. I like polishing better at the end.
All right, one more. My name is Peter, and what age did you start making books?
What age did I start? Oh my goodness. Well, I started writing when I was, your age. Then I graduated from college. I took a detour. I worked as a pediatric nurse for a while. I was the shot lady. I did all the back to school shots. So I didn't really start writing for kids until my daughter, who's in 9th grade now, when she was in kindergarten. But it took me about 6 or 7 years to break into the book world industry before I actually sold a book. So it was a lot of practice, because I never went to school to be an author. And you guys don't, people do, but you don't have to. Books were my best teachers, reading as many books from the library as I could and deciphering them and what makes them work and what parts I liked or what parts were boring. Just studying your favorite books and then watching tons of movies. I watched tons of movies to get plot ideas. So anyway, I hope that helps answer the question.
After this next question from Avery Cooney, we're gonna go to one from Miss Loisan, and then if there's time, then one from here in Cloverdale. And if there's more time, we'll go back around. So one more from each group. So yeah, go ahead.
All right, Dad. What inspired you to make the book?
I'm sorry, say that again. What
inspired you to make the book?
What inspired me to make the book? Okay, well, I haven't answered this part yet. My second son, Zachary, who's in college now, when he was in middle school, he started the Rubik's Cube speed cubing club at his school. I don't know if any of you guys are into speed cubing, but some families I know like travel for baseball or soccer. Well, we traveled for Rubik's cubes. Like Zachary got really, really good, and he could solve one in with one hand in 18 seconds. And he went to nationals in North Carolina and competed. So anyway, he was a lot of my inspiration. Oh, but we would go to these big contests, and there'd be 200 to 300 boys, like 4th, 5th, and 6th grade boys in a room. And I'd look to the side and there'd be one little table with 4 girls. And I remember watching these girls solving these, and like this one girl in a purple hoodie, she would get up there and she just smoked the boys. Like she was fast. And what I realized is like, I want to write a book for her. Like, what's her story and how awesome is she to be out here going against 200-300 boys and she was holding her own and doing great. And then I thought that's exactly what Amelia Earhart did, right? All the pilots were boys and men. And then Amelia and her girlfriends that were also pilots kind of broke into the industry and changed everything. So that was kind of my parallel idea for that. Yeah, great question.
All right, Miss Loiza's class, do you have one student who has a question?
Hi, my name is Layla, and when did you start wanting to become a writer?
Okay, so I didn't know any writers at all when I was your age, but I read all the time and I would study, like I would read the little, the little bios on the back of the authors. And, I was in the middle of Arkansas. I grew up in Little Rock. And so I never had an author visit my entire childhood. Or I didn't know normal people, like regular people that live in the middle of the country could become authors. So I became a nurse, but I think I absolutely would have done that if I knew I could have done it. I just thought you had to live in New York. I don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And then the internet opened up, when I was in my 20s, and I just started Googling, like, how do you write for kids? And I got all these answers and I was like, oh my gosh, I can do this. And so it took me a while, but you can do anything you put your mind to do. So.
Thank you. We have one more question. Go ahead, Grace.
Hi, my name is Grace, and
Grace,
my question is, at what age did you know that you actually wanted to start writing your books?
Probably your age, fourth grade, third and fourth grade. I remember being read like James and the Giant Peach, and I started reading like all the Babysitter's Club books and Nancy Drew books, which I know they're graphic novels now, right? They're amazing. And I started reading and I didn't stop, and I loved it. And then the thing about when I had my own kids, I went back and was reading, and the thing that's so awesome about your age is all the books end with like a promise of hope to come. Like sometimes grown-up books can end kind of depressing, but kids' books always have hope, even if they're sad, right? Because sad things do happen in real life, obviously. But yeah, kids' books are always hopeful. So I think they're the best.
Before we go, we had some students ask if they had questions still, if they can submit them to you.
Oh yeah, email and I'll write back. Yeah.
All right, thank you. So before we go, I just want to say thank you for talking to our readers today. We're loving your book here. So if you guys would like, you can unmute and say goodbye. So you guys can all say goodbye.
You guys were great. Thank you. And look,
I have all the original babies.
Okay. And I was going to show you.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming today. And we will see you all next time. Thank you for asking such great questions.
I don't know if you've seen this, but Lego has Amelia's airplane set. So you'll have to look for that sometimes, which is kind of cool if you're in the Legos. But I just wanted to show you that. But thank you guys so much. I know y'all have lunch and other
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. They're a great bunch.
Thank you so much. I think Kim had to go, but
that's okay. Thank you guys for having it.
Thank you so much.